Hungry? This is Just the Plate. Hey everyone, this is Cappy, and you're listening to Just the Plate, a production of Beyond the Plate. Just the Plate is a short segment where chefs describe a dish or a recipe that is meaningful to them. Last week you heard from Chef Tim Love. Tim Love's an award-winning chef and owner of restaurants in Texas and Knoxville, Tennessee. His flagship restaurant, Lonesome Dove Western Bistro, opened in Fort Worth, Texas in 2000. He's the founding partner of Austin Food and Wine Festival and Music City Food and Wine Festival in Nashville. He's the official chef of Austin City Limits Music Festival. He's an extremely giving chef, as most chefs are, and has done some great work with an organization called Spoons Across America. And this all is just a tiny sliver of all that Tim Love does. If you missed last week's episode with Tim Love, please be sure to check that out. But for now, pasta primavera. To be honest, when he said he was going to do pasta primavera, in my mind, pasta primavera is this dish that's on a menu of a local mom and pop Italian restaurant, like in the neighborhood you grew up in. But when he started talking about this dish, it sounded really, really delicious. So I got a little deeper with it. Pasta primavera was actually made famous or known by Sergio Macchioni, who was the owner of the famed Le Cirque restaurant that was in New York forever. And the story goes, he was in Canada doing a dinner for some notables, and they wanted a pasta dish, and he took some fresh vegetables, and this was in like 1975 or so, don't quote me on that, and pasta primavera was created. Brought that back to New York. The rest is history. Anyway, the other funny thing, I'm seeing a pattern here with meals that chefs cook at home for their family. Pasta. Lots of pasta dishes, but I'll take it because I love a good pasta dish. This one Tim Love makes using vegetables, fresh vegetables from his own garden. He cooked this one for his family the night or two before I talked to him about this recipe, and he shares some great tips along the way that any home cook will find useful at home. I'm going to stop talking, but this is Just the Plate.
My name is Tim Love. I'm a chef restaurateur located in Fort Worth, Texas, and married to my lovely wife, Emily, and 3 young children. And we love to cook at home, especially it's a rarity that I get to be home a bunch of days in a row. So when I am home, we always like to make stuff that's fun. So today, I'm going to tell you about a dish that I made just the other night for my family, and it was all straight out of the garden and beautifully spring, which is just a simple pasta primavera. So in my garden, we grow fresh purple asparagus, which is super sweet and really delicious. Also some spring peas, some fresh garlic and spring onions, and some fresh sweet red bell peppers. And the dish is actually quite simple, and it's really delicious, and people really kind of go nuts over it. So first, I like to put a pot of water on and bring it to a boil with enough salt that when you taste it with a teaspoon, it tastes like the ocean. And we all know the ocean is very salty, so you want to make sure that it tastes like the ocean. It's very important. While the water is becoming to a boil, I like to chop up the asparagus into about 3/4 of an inch pieces, and then go ahead and shuck all the spring peas, discard the shells. I take the spring onions and chop off the green tops, and julienne the fine bottoms of the onion. And then with the red bell peppers, I like to go ahead and dice those. And we also take our spring garlic and mince that up. So then I get a hot saute pan, add a little bit of olive oil, and then I add in some fresh cracked pepper. As soon as the pepper starts to sizzle a little bit, we add in the garlic. And it's about, for a family of 5, I did about 2.5 tablespoons of garlic. And you want a good amount of black pepper in there as well. That should come to a sizzle very quickly. And then you're going to add all the vegetables and saute them on high for about a minute, and then turn the heat off. Set the pan aside. Then we're going to add our pasta, and I like to use any kind of long pasta, whatever you like, tagliatelle, linguine, fettuccine. I don't like the fine angel hair. It's a little too fine for this dish, but anywhere in between there would be fine. Then as soon as the water comes to a boil, I add the pasta and let it begin to cook. And then I take about, I like to go ahead and get a microplane and shave about 1 cup to 1.5 cups of Parmesan cheese. When the pasta is done, to whatever your liking is, I like it to be a little bit al dente, but some people like it more. We turn the heat back up on the pan, and we're going to add in about 3/4 cup of sour cream or creme fraiche. and start to toss the vegetables very quickly. And then we're going to pull the pasta straight from the water into the pan, allowing about a half a cup of water to enter into the vegetables, and continue to toss vigorously. We're going to add a little bit of salt after we taste it if necessary. Remember, the water should be salty, so taste first. And then we're going to add in Parmesan cheese and again, toss vigorously. Put it right on top of a nice platter to serve. And then we're going to top that with the chopped up tops of the spring onions and a little fresh Parmesan cheese on top of that and a little bit of lemon zest. And there you have it, a spectacular spring dish fit for 5 people. It's so good.
The creme fraiche or sour cream sounds real nice.
Yeah, it adds a little acid to the dish, which is important. So, most pasta dishes fall a little flat because everybody wants to add all these extra ingredients, and then they add the butter or something like that, and it falls flat. You need some acidity. Hey, man, if every day was like this, I'd be a hero. Shit.
Find more on Tim Love at cheftimlove.com. This episode was produced by myself, along with Ian Cohen and Joel Yeaton. You can find me and keep up to date with this podcast across all social media platforms at On Cappy's Plate, or go to beyondtheplatepodcast.com. Please rate, review, and subscribe to this podcast on your listening site of choice. Thank you for listening to Just the Plate, a production of Beyond the Plate. I'm Cappy.